Hey everybody, I'm Josh and welcome to another episode of Just Saying. Thank you. It is going to be a huge show today. So big that I only have two segments. Because every time, I have a third segment, and every time I rehearsed and filmed with the third segment, it went to like 45 minutes. And so I'm trying to I scrapped one episode and I'm trying to get it down to about 30 minutes. So we'll see how it goes. But I do want to apologize really quick. I have a broken tooth. I'm on I just took some medicine to get the pain away. So I'm a little kind of, it's going to be a fun show. Not only for that reason, but because I have not one, not two, but three things to debut for you today. Three new things for the show. And I'm so excited about them. The first and third debuts will be linked together, and the one in the middle isn't. So may get a little confusing in here in just a little bit. But let's get the host chat out of the way. I already told you about that. I have a question for you guys. And I seriously want some feedback because this is what's going on. I think I'm beginning to get an irrational fear of owls. I have lived in the town that I live in moved here when I was the year I turned 10, and I'll be 40 this year. So about 30 years, off and on. And in the 30 years that I've lived here, I have never seen as many owls as I have seen in the last 2 weeks. I was outside one night with Taser, and she was doing her thing, and I hear this like nails on a chalkboard screech. And so I Google it, and it turns out that it's owls, and they do that noise for one of two reasons. Either it's their mating call, which, to be noted, it is their mating season right now, or they do it when they have found their prey and are going to attack. I am not outside prior to taking my dog out. Therefore, I don't know if they've been doing it for a while. So as far as I know, we walk out there and it starts screeching. I think it's going to attack us. And I squeeze the poop out of Taser and we run inside. Just kidding. But she is starting to get afraid of it. Like, she'll hear the screech and will come right back in. I know it's their mating season. The other night, I kid you not, there were 5 owls in the same tree. Pretty sure there's some owl porn going on too. But this is a family show, so we'll stop that there. But I look up and they're doing this head bob thing and turning their head 360, and it's just creepy. Am I crazy? Well, I know I'm crazy, but is that a crazy fear? Can I buy some owl repellent? Anyway, it is time to get on with the show, so let's start the show off by answering the question, what is Josh drinking? And today, I'm drinking some good old Mountain Dew with a straw. Why the straw? Because I got a broken tooth. So yeah, that is what I'm drinking today. Let me tell you about the show, because I'm so excited about it. This is the episode I have been waiting for all season long. I teased it at the beginning of the season, mainly because I didn't know how I was going to put it together. But as it started falling into place, it was a lot of fun. And it leads me to my first debut. I am going to have every season, so this is the first seasonal throwback edition. I'm so excited. What brought this on, you say? Well, let me answer that question for you. According to our friends at holidayinsights.com, June 7th is VCR Day. And for those of you who don't know what a VCR is, it's kind of like a DVD player. And for those of you who don't know what a DVD player is, it's like your streaming service. This is a VHS tape. And they call it a tape because there's actual tape in the cassette. Little kids, even though it's supposed to be childproof, would find this little button on the side, push it, and you open this flap, and you can see the tape inside. Some kids, not saying I ever did this, but would pull it out, wear it around his purse, and then you'd get in a lot of trouble because it'd ruin the tape. We had movie rental places where it was kind of like a library. You would go and you would rent a video, but you'd have to pay for the rental. And they would always have little stickers on them that said, "Be kind, rewind," which I understand, but it's caused this huge debacle. And some places charged you if you didn't rewind it. People, you're getting a movie from a rental place. A rental place. That immediately tells me that someone's probably already watched this. Chances are they literally just put it right back out on the shelves just as you grabbed it. So, is it inconsiderate? Yes. Is it inconvenient to have to go home and rewind the video? Absolutely. But is it out of this world that would even be considered? No. It's a movie rental. Clearly other people have watched the same damn movie. Anyway. But I can't sit here and talk to you guys for 30 minutes about VCRs, which is what brought up the Throwback Edition. And I'm so excited about it. But first, we're going to move on. So that was the first debut. Here's the second debut. I have a new sketch for you. And at the beginning of the calendar year, I told you guys that I was going to try and start writing my own jokes, which I have started doing. I'll find a joke online, and I will rework it a little bit or change it completely and to make it funnier to me. I have slipped them in throughout the season this year, and either they're so good you guys can't tell the difference, or they're so bad you can't tell the difference. Let's be real. So yeah, I thought it would be fun to show more of my jokes to you guys, ones that I've reworked a little bit. But there's a problem, and that problem is because someone comes up to you and says, "Hey, I got a joke for you." And let me get this out of the way real quick. I never intend to offend anybody. So when someone says that, when someone says that to you, you immediately start smiling, and you know it's not meant to be offensive. I am not here to offend anyone. I'm here to make people smile and laugh and take their minds off of the world. And so if I offend you or a group of people or whatever the case may be, email the show, let me know immediately, and I will take care of it. I will handle it. I apologize in advance if that happens, but that's not my intent. And because that's not my intent, I thought a good way to kind of get some feedback on my jokes is to do this new sketch. So here is debut number 2. It's my new sketch. Is that too far? And here's how it works. I have a list of about 20 jokes that I'm going to start reading. I have a member of the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, sitting right over there. And after each joke, I will ask them if they think the joke has gone too far. If they do think it has, and you hear this noise, that means it's gone over, it's crossed the line. The sketch has to end immediately. It could be after the first joke, after the third joke, who knows. But definitely not after the 20th, because I only have 20 of them. Here we go. There's a new documentary out there entitled Sick. It's the winner of the Los Angeles Independent Film Festival Award. The film chronicles the life and times of super-masochistic performance artist Bob Flanagan. In one scene, Flanagan is shown hammering a nail into and then removing it from his penis. Gives new meaning to the sexual term nailed. Is that too far? Nope, got the thumbs up. We're good to go. Former Big Brother contestant and the brother of Ariana Grande recently married his longtime boyfriend Hale. I'm sorry, let me start that over. Former Big Brother contestant and the brother of Ariana Grande, Frankie Grande, recently married his longtime boyfriend Hale over the weekend at a private ceremony in Florida with a Star Wars theme. Because that's what everyone wants to see at a gay wedding, a sword fight. Is that too far? Nope, we got the thumbs up again. We're good to go. A police chief in the United States recently stated that giving the middle finger to a cop is a form of free speech. Said black people, you first. Oh, his finger's hovering a little bit. In a recent poll, 11% of gay couples have said that they have had issues when finding wedding vendors, while the other 89% are wedding vendors. Is that too far? No, he's even laughing at that one. The TV drama Person of Interest came under fire recently for killing off its lesbian character. While they still don't know who did it, a lot of suspects have been fingered. Oh no! That one crossed the line. End of the segment. We have to continue on with the show. But don't you fret, because it's time for more jokes in this week's edition of Another Cheesy Monologue. As I mentioned last week, June is Pride Month for the LGBTQ plus community. So as usual, I went to latenightLOL.com and in the search bar typed in gay. There were over 400 jokes. So while outdated, all the jokes will have something to do with gay. Hold on tight. Here we go. Russia apparently has asked Cher to perform at next year's Winter Olympics, because if there's one way to keep gay people out of your country, it's to hold a free Cher concert. Indiana's Governor Mike Pence is under fire for the new anti-gay law. Well, guess what? Now he says he's not anti-gay. And then followed it up by saying, April Fools! Over the weekend, the Senate officially voted to allow gay soldiers to serve in the military, which is great news for gay soldiers, but bad news for straight soldiers that were going to say they were gay to get out of the military. Hillary Clinton released a video announcing her candidacy for president featuring a gay couple. Then an hour later, Bill Clinton watched a very different video featuring a gay couple. It's time now for my joke of the week. Former Olympic figure skating gold medalist Brian Boitano recently said that he was gay and did so by saying, "Hi, I'm Brian Boitano, Olympic figure skater." DC Comics has revealed that the Green Lantern is gay. Well, duh. What other superhero gets their power from jewelry? Yesterday, Richard Blanco became America's first openly gay Latino inauguration poet. Afterwards, Blanco said, quote, "I'm living proof that anyone can overcome the obstacle of being a poet." End quote. Republican Congressman Phil Hinkle, who voted to ban gay marriage, was caught propositioning a male prostitute. When asked to explain himself, he said, "It's not like we were getting married. It's a whole different kind of ring." Yesterday, Maine and Maryland approved gay marriage, and today, congratulations to Delaware, they kind of came out as bi-curious. And finally, at a zoo in China, 2 gay penguins have been given a baby chick to raise. Unfortunately, it's not working out well. As the gay penguin said, "We're not into chicks." And now it's time for my third debut. This segment will be in every one of my throwback editions, and it's time for a look back to my day. That's right, everybody. Every episode I will have, every throwback edition I will have this segment in. And every time it could be different. It could be news headlines from my generation. It could be songs, movies, whatever the case may be. Today we're going to take a look at some hot toys from my generation. And some of them I had. And some of them will answer the question, what if robots took over the world? No joke. I will answer that question for you today. But first up, it's the creepy crawlers. And basically what this is you had your goop. That's what they was called, is goop. Some was fluorescent, some was neon, some was glow in the dark, some was bold, some was pastel, some had glitter in it. And you would put this goop into a plate. Some people would do intricate designs on them. and make them really cool looking. Me, I'm colorblind, so it was just... You put it into an oven with a 10-watt light bulb for 3 hours, and then you take it out of this very hot oven with a 10-watt light bulb after 3 hours with plastic. And then, because you think, how hot can it get with a 10-watt light bulb, you try and take it out with your fingers, and you burn the shit out of your fingertips. So you wait another 3 hours for it to cool down. By the time you are trying to take them out, one of two things would happen. Either it would break and you'd throw it away, or you would get it successfully out of the plate and play with the little ant that you made and then throw it away play with it for about 10 seconds and then throw it away. But like I said, it became more of a how cool can we make them type thing. Next up, like I said, I'm going to answer the question for you. What if robots took over the world? And if they do, or not if, but when they do, these will be their leaders. They are called Furbies. It was a hot item. A friend and I got up at 4 a.m. one time because we knew a store was getting a new shipment in. And thank the good Lord, they ran out 2 people ahead of me. Because they started having these literal conspiracy theories about them. And so what they would do is they had wheels on the bottom, so they would move around, follow you around, creepily. You'd feed him by pressing down on his tongue. You would teach him how to speak English, but they had their own Furbian language. And if you had, and above the 2 eyes in the middle is a little black thing, that's a sensor. If it picked up other sensors, other Furbies, it would start talking to them in their Furbian language, which creeped a lot of people out, thinking to themselves, what are they saying? Like, we can't read them. How do we know that they're not planning to kill us? Seriously, people started freaking out about this. Also, in the middle of the night, you'd be dead asleep. Even if you just had one, it would just randomly start talking to itself. It started freaking people out that they would take the batteries out and throw them away because they were afraid that these things were going to take over the world. And they are, because they're creepy as hell. Now, this next one I need you guys to use your imaginations on. Let's say you're 16 years old, applied at McDonald's for store manager. And you're sitting there and they're asking you, why do you think you at 16 should be able to manage the store? Why? Because I had the place set. I know what I'm doing. A playset, a McDonald's playset. I don't understand this. Do you love their chicken McNuggets and fries so badly you want to pretend to make them at home? Oy vey. This next one just proves that we had no safety concerns. These are called moon shoes. And basically what they were was supposed to represent zero gravity. So you would put your shoes in the little foot things, which are one size fits none, and strap them in and literally just sit there and bounce. Not jump, but bounce, because you're on flimsy plastic. Your foot's not touching the ground, so you never really know when the plastic piece is touching the ground, and if you're ever really safely on the ground. But in the commercials, they run and jump and do a whole bunch of stuff. You play with it for about 45 seconds, realize you can't do any of that, and then you never play with them again. This next game we only played when we were in school at the computers. And yes, those were the graphics of the time. It's called Oregon Trail. You and your 4 friends would sit around a computer, eventually dying off from diphtheria, snake bites, or the common cold. And yeah, that was basically it. So when Furbies take over the world, this will be their technology. It's called the Speak and Spell. And it's creepy as hell. I had one, it creeped me out. You basically type in the letters, spelling a word, and it will read the word back to you. But kids started reading like robots. Because that's the sound this thing sounds like. It was really creepy. So, I swear it will be the Furbies technology. Like there's some secret if you put in a secret code, you can get into the Pentagon or something. I'm kidding. Please don't show up at my door, FBI. But yeah, this next thing, in concept and in theory, was a great toy, but in reality, was a waste of time. It's called Splash Out, and here is the concept of the game. You would get a water balloon, you'd put it in between two halves of the ball, and you would set a timer on the ball, and you would throw the ball around with the water balloon in it. And the timer would stop, it would poke the balloon, and whoever was catching it would get soaking wet. That's the theory. But in reality, here's how it would work. You'd buy a bag of, let's say, 10 balloons, just because it's an even number. Out of those 10 balloons, this is what would happen. You would either make them too small to where they wouldn't pop, or they would be too big to where they wouldn't not pop. Once you got it perfectly right, you would take half the ball, put the balloon on it, balance the balloon with one hand on this plastic shelf, and you would take the other half, jam it on there, and turn it to lock it in. Then you would turn the timer, but you couldn't throw it like a normal ball, because if it was caught or thrown too hard, the balloon would pop and you'd have to start all over. Or you couldn't drop it, or you'd have to start all over. No, why not just fill up a water balloon and throw it around? But it was fun in theory, and I did have one, and my friends and I did play with it, but it just became more work than it was fun, I guess. So, not if, but when the Furbies take over with their technology of the speak and spell, these will be their soldiers. They are called the Teddy Ruxpin. They are creepy as hell. Basically, all you would do was put a cassette tape, book on tape, in its back, and he will read you a book. Because when I'm at a friend's house, the first thing I think of is, let's have a creepy-ass bear read us a book. So yeah, the eyes would blink, and maybe it was creepy looking back because it was the first like animatronic type toy that we had. Like that was new technology when it came out, but it just creeped me the hell out. The eyes would move and blink, and the eyes were never like they were always wobbly, and no, they will be the soldiers of the army for the Furbies. Anyway, the next item I still can't talk about without getting a little bit emotional. This is called a Tamagotchi, also known as Gigapet. Basically, when you started it, it would be an egg. The egg would hatch, and you would have to take care of it. It would turn into what it shows on the screen right now. You'd have to play ball with it, feed it, yell at it if it was bad, clean up after it, if it pooped little Hershey Kisses with a squiggle above it. Give it medicine when it's sick, all this other stuff you'd have to do with it, or it would die. And a friend and I had one, and we were trying to see, we got them around the same time, and we were trying to see who could keep theirs alive the longest. So I had mine for about a year at this point, and my family and I are getting ready to go on vacation, and you think to yourself, what 12-year-old wants to be bothered with a damn keychain instead of playing in the ocean? So I found a babysitter who lost him. Was my best friend in the whole wide world. Never spoke to him since. Just kidding. He lives down the street and we're good friends. But I didn't talk to him for a few months because I was really mad at him for losing my Tamagotchi. Anyway. And finally, these are troll dolls. Troll dolls were said to give you luck. You've probably seen them at any bingo hall that you've ever been to. And basically, the most fun part about them was the fact that they came in eraser tops. Like, you couldn't erase with them, so you'd have to take them on and off. But you'd shove the pencil eraser up the troll's ass, and then you'd go like this, because they were so wobbly that when you flicked your pencil back to start writing, it would fly off and hit the kid behind you. Or you would just put them on the pencil and just fling them at each other. That's really what they became. But anyway, so those are troll dolls, and they were fun to just play with their hair. And it was kind of honestly like the first fidget toy. Kids would just take them and like brush them against their hand because it would calm you down. And it, like I said, became like one of the first fidget toys. So yeah. We are going to continue on. And what kind of a throwback episode would this be? Oh, hold on. Let me get that off the screen. What kind of a throwback episode would this be without doing... I'm sorry, everybody. Please remain calm. I think I smell smoke, which can mean one of two things. Either I have a cigarette going somewhere, or it's time for you burnt. That's right, everybody. What kind of a throwback episode would this be without going back to my first year of doing the show and doing my yubbers? What? Oh, it's not a memory sequence? I actually have a you burnt to do. Oh. Sorry, I thought we were throwing back to a memory. My bad. Alright, well, without further ado then, we have a lot of topics to sizzle through, not a lot of time. Wish I would have been able to rehearse a little bit, but I've always thought we were just going to throw back. Anyway, here we go. First up, massages. If I wanted to lay face down and listen to Enya, I'd just get clinical depression. Also, if I wanted a stranger to rub me, I would just sit in front of Joe Biden on an Amtrak sideburn Joe. Masseuses, you're wondering why I'm so tense? Maybe it's because a stranger told me to get naked, started prodding me, all while I'm trying to hold in 100 farts. Also, massage therapists, if you're going to insist on being called a therapist, I'm going to insist on telling you about my daddy issues and crying the entire hour. Massages, you better grab your hot stones, cuz you burnt. Engagement rings. Whose bright idea was it to come up with something where you spend your entire nest egg on something that can fit down a sink drain? Every kiss begins with K, but every engagement begins with some guy's bank account getting F'd in the B. Oh, he went to Jared. Well, Jared can go straight to hell. Engagement rings. I got a finger for you. You burnt. Low stakes rat beefs. I remember the day when you heard shots fired actually meant that shots had been fired. Now you have to scroll through somebody's Twitter feed to find out what's going on. The worst thing is that Wiz Khalifa and Kanye West both took down their Twitter feeds, so I can't even tell you what was going on. I know Kanye's mad about something, I just can't put my finger in it. Low stakes rap beefs. You ground, you roasted, now you burnt. Last minute Valentine's Day gifts. If it's February 13th and you're in a Hallmark store, chances are you've already blown it. Every kiss begins with K, but every breakup begins with a half-price box of Russell Stover's chocolates. You know it's a bad gift when you get it out of an aisle that a month ago had Halloween decorations in it. If this bear could talk, he would say, I came free with a half-price box of Russell Stover's chocolates. But last minute Valentine's Day gifts. You burnt. Wintertime dry skin. Why is it that there are 2 feet of wet slush on the ground, but absolutely no moisture in my body? I love looking like a turn-of-the-century boxer with my bloody knuckles. My hands are so dry, I can sharpen a pencil with them, with a closed fist. Watch. Yeah, that bombed. Anyway, moving on. Wintertime dry skin, I may need some lotion, but you need some aloe because you burnt. Mistletoe. More like the Bill Cosby of plants. Sideburn Bill Cosby. Mistletoe answers the question, what if Tinder was just a bunch of leaves? Also, this is a holiday where we spend a lot of time with extended family. Do we really want to promote on-the-mouth kissing? No one's gone to the bathroom for 45 minutes because Uncle Gary's standing by the bathroom door holding mistletoe. Mistletoe, more like missile no, you burnt. Christmas carolers, let me get this straight. I have to pause my hockey game, get up, go to the door, and stand and listen to an a cappella concert that I didn't ask for? Sign me up! What am I supposed to do anyway? Please tell me, do you want eye contact? Do you not want eye contact? Am I supposed to sing along with you? Because I don't know the words to Good King Wenceslas, let alone, I don't even know how to say it. Is it Wenceslas? 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 I don't know. Also, lady in the back, if that's your husband standing next to you with a scarf on, he's gay. Christmas carolers, you better sing at a firehouse next, cause you burnt. Sunburns, the true societal disadvantage of being white. I haven't been this red since I haven't seen this much red since the 2016 electoral map, sideburn Democrats. I haven't been burned this badly since a coworker told me her favorite part of my show is my co-host, sideburn me. Sunburns, you better start peeling off, cause you'll burn. Next up, flip-flops. Who's the creep that saw a big toe and thought, that would look great in a thong? Flip-flops are good for 2 times. The beach and pool. Nowhere else. Here's a little rhyme to help you remember. If the distance to water is more than 3 blocks, do us a favor and wear your f***ing socks. Flip-flops flop off, cause you burnt. Doctor's appointments. I'm not mad that I have to wait 2 hours to see you. I'm mad that I have to wait 2 hours for 30 seconds of your time. I just watched 2 entire episodes of Jerry Springer in the waiting room, all for you to tell me to keep an eye on it. Also, why do I need a prescription for hemorrhoid cream? Should it really be this much of a pain in the ass to fix my pain in the ass? Doctor's appointments. I got your number, but you burnt. Oh, no! That sound means we're not only out of time for the segment, but for the show. Told you it was going to be a fun show that flew by, people. Don't doubt me ever again. And look at that, 31 minutes with all my scraps that I cut out of the show. All in the garbage can now. After all that hard work. Anyway, no, it was a great show. I look forward to next season's throwback edition. You never know when I'm going to have one. So be ready to catch my throwback. I don't get it either. If there's something funny you think I should see and share on the show, be sure to send it to me. There's my show email. Also, follow me on TikTok for behind-the-scenes looks, my Taser Versus video, and exclusive TikTok contests. And especially during my 6 weeks off, I'm going to probably, hopefully, cross my fingers that I remember to, post a bunch on my TikTok. So, and we're getting close to the end of the season, people. This is episode 8. 2 more to go. Just saying. Also, while you have a second, and while you're sitting there, please like, subscribe, comment below, and get the notifications anytime I post one of my episodes, which is every week on Sundays. Anyway, but subscribe anyway. Why not? Anyway, be sure to join me next week when we celebrate a holiday all hour long that takes 10 muscles to do, and I think everyone should do it more. What is it, you ask? That's called a tease, and you'll find out next week. So be sure to join me then. Until next time, everybody, please stay safe, stay healthy, thank the military, and remember all of the fallen soldiers that we had. Happy Memorial Day to you all, even though it's not really Memorial Day and it was last week. We're going to pretend it was. Okay. So without further ado, everybody, until next week, that's all I'm saying.